prepare for next month's big auction event, our 28th annual auction right here on PCA's campus. I want to tell you I'm standing here in the lower school lobby where surrounding me are some of the class gifts, including all kinds of really neat and fun and unique items. You're going to get to see those firsthand. You're welcome to come into the lobby anytime before the auction to peruse. They're also available on the website. We have things like an electric bike. We have a rafting kit, a whole set. We have an at-home, get fit at home gym set. Lots and lots of vroom vroom toys. And that includes not just this set, but this one in the back. So if you have someone who loves vroom vroom, this is the item for you. We've got sand and water fun here. This is presented by our preschool. So lots of great options. There are officially no breakfast tickets remaining to purchase for this year's auction. This is a first in PCA's history to have sold out of breakfast tickets more than 6 weeks in advance of our actual auction. So now, all of you table hosts out there who very generously purchased an entire table, please extend invitations out, because that's now the only way that guests can join the breakfast portion of our morning. For everyone else, of course, you are welcome to join us at no cost in general seating at the auction, and it's still just as much fun. So please plan to come on out. I want to remind you why the auction matters. You've heard us say it a whole lot this year already, that half of the seats in our classrooms would be empty if not for the variable tuition program here at PCA, which is only made possible by the generous donations of our families and community members. The auction is a big part of that, because every dollar raised at the auction, whether it's for an item that you're going to go home with or for the sponsored child portion, every dollar goes towards variable tuition, which is going to help the current students who need variable tuition to be able to remain here next year, and also allow us to welcome all of the students who want to be a part of school next year for the very first time. Let me read to you some notes from students, and I even have a couple from teachers that I think will help you understand the heart of the recipients. So this little guy here, someone made you a 3D card, and it says, "Thank you, your money helps me have friends to play with." I've got another sweet note here. This one says, "Dear PCA donor, thank you for donating, because if we didn't have school, we would not have friends." Here's another sweet handmade card from a student. This student got very creative and artsy inside. "Thank you for your generous donations. Without them, I wouldn't be able to go to PCA, which would not have all the equipment and friends. PCA would not be the same without your donations." I've got a couple from some teachers here. Mrs. D. Tomaso wants you to know that she thanks you for your generosity. Everything you give to the school and families of our community is such a blessing. And then I've got one more from a teacher, one you will know quite well. And this one I'm going to read to you. "Dear PCA donor, I am the art and orchestra teacher at the lower school, and working at PCA is such a joy. However, I want to write this huge thank you to you and all PCA donors. As a mom of 5 kids who have all had an exceptional experience at PCA. The older 4 have graduated, and now our youngest will graduate. As a family who could not have afforded sending so many kids to a private school, God richly provided for us over the last 13 years at PCA through donors like you. The impact this school has had on our children is still playing out, as they are young adults with jobs and families of their own. I tell my students that our family wouldn't be at PCA if it wasn't for the generosity of special people. Thank you so very much for the difference you make for so many families like ours. In Christ, Susie Stevens." So I think that brings it home for you of why our auction matters every year. And the auction is part of how we are responding to our number one strategic priority, which is to respond to the demand for Christian education in our mixed income region. And the auction annually is our very tangible way of doing just that. So I want to share with you, in addition to the items I mentioned earlier, these class gifts that are behind me, I want to highlight 3 very special items that you're going to see in the auction. 1 item is available only until February 13th. That is this ring right here on my fingers. This ring, valued at $8,000, is a diamond and pink ruby cocktail ring. It is a size 7.5 or 8, we think. And this was given to us by someone who would love to see another person wearing this, but more importantly, that whoever has it knows that you also supported a student's tuition here at PCA for maybe a half a year or more. And by popular demand, our neighbors up here in the state of New Hampshire at Camp Brookwoods, at Camp Sentinel, have offered week-long summer camp experiences, adventures, and opportunities for students in places like Moosehead Camp, that's up in Jackman, Maine. And those are also available for kids to do things like water activities, building bonds, learning about the Lord, campfire, really late nights that moms and dads probably wouldn't want to know about, but it's all super healthy and fun. And so those are available too. I encourage you to look at those items available. Another great item available at this year's auction, it's on the website right now, and it will be available at the live auction as well. This is a historical document. It's the address of the convention framing a new constitution, a form of government for the state of New Hampshire to the inhabitants of the state. This is from Exeter, New Hampshire, and this document is from 1782. And if you are someone who loves history, whether it's all history or you're real focused on New Hampshire state history, this is going to pique your interest. So we've got a really big, bold giving goal, and I'm going to reference Heather Jones here. Heather, if you're watching, last year you said, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. And so this year, our grizzly bear goal, we are praying big, bold, audacious prayers to the Lord that He would answer this prayer, is that we would be able to more than exceed last year's giving number, which was $300,000. That's my private goal. I think our auction manager will tell you that the goal is $200,000. But just like Heather said, we're going to be grizzlies this year. Thank you for participating, and I can't wait to see you next month.